next project that we're going to be doing is Ken Price. Now, he was a ceramic artist based in New Mexico, and he takes hollowed forms and texturizes them on another level. So you're going to choose one of his pieces that I've selected, and you're going to recreate it on a smaller scale. So notice that his characteristics are these sort of clumpy, almost like chewed gum shapes, and then they have a wedge cut out, and then they have a square hole inside. So I'm going to use this one and follow along, but like I said, you can choose from any of the four, and I'll be sure to show you how this texture differs from this texture at the end. Okay, so I like to keep this handy so that way we can follow the shape first. You're going to want to get your tools ready. So the tools that I have set up, I have my needle tools, aka the mighty paperclip. I have my scoring tool, aka the mighty toothpick. You can also use a fork. You're going to need a spoon and a knife, preferably one with a nice tip. You're going to need either your floss, or if you have some fishing line, you'll need a pencil. You'll need a gift card or something that you can use like a rib. And then your setup here: sponge, lid, water, paintbrush, and your slip container. So the first thing that we're going to do is just create the shape that we want. Okay, so if you look at his shape here, you can see that it kind of goes in a little bit on both sides. So you're going to want to start with solid clay. I like to use just like a handful. This doesn't need to be huge, just work small. Remember to have your hands kind of wet, and you're just going to be forming the shape of this. Okay. So you can kind of hold it up, see where it might need to go in to kind of match the shape that you're going for. Now he has texture all over the piece, even underneath. So use your knuckles to really create that dented texture. Now remember, this is a solid form, so you can really punch it quite deep. Okay. Now we're going to be making the wedge. So to do this, think like you're going to cut a slice of cake. You have a little bit on the left, you have a little bit on the right, then you take it off from the bottom. And you're going to lift out a nice wedge. Make sure that you have it smooth. On all areas, all that surface. Now we're going to take the floss or the fishing line, and you're going to cut it in half, just like we did with the cupcake, but you're going to avoid this wedged out part. So kind of come around the back. You want to be careful where this wedge is, so I like to draw kind of like an area to avoid, right? Don't touch that area, But we're gonna be using the back end of our paper clip to hollow out this form. Keep it on the thicker side. Keep this border on the thicker side because you're gonna wanna dent it again. If a spoon is easier, feel free to use a spoon. Now we're going to attach these back together. Remember to score every time you attach 2 pieces of clay. Things may have shifted. So kind of move it into place before you press them together. Remember, we're going to get rid of this seam. So go over that with your toothpick. Then with a wet plastic gift card, you're going to seal that, getting rid of the score marks. It also gets rid of some of that texture, so be sure that you re-texturize it. This is why we keep it kind of thick. Now, if you were doing the last one, that pink one, not only does it have indents, but it also has pieces on top. So you're going to be making little balls of clay, cutting them in half, and attaching them to the top. And then using a sponge, you're going to really blend everything smooth. So the surface is going to be super wet, so that way it's blended into the form. And that's how you would make these mounds all over.